Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 22. Oh man, as of Pride here in the year 2003 for WMMA 5, as it's Pride 26, bad to the bone, as we actually are not gonna have Mauricio versus Vanderlei Silva because Mauricio is ducking. He's ducking him. Didn't want to fight him, so we have just this card here. We have a 5 main card fight a card and then 3 prelims fights as Mauricio Shogun Hua is going to take on Ricardo Arona. We're probably going to bump this up actually to about right here as and then Frank Mir, Raphael, Kirino, and Fabrizio Verdum and Trey Tellingman as well joining that. But a lot of heavyweights obviously because of what's total elimination and final conflict are going to be. Plus we have this. This was something you might have saw as far as like the upcoming shows. As we're going to have a show in America, it's going to be in California, as it's American Bushido, #1. As, we have our little American subscription that we're going to do, as, and everything as far as, so we have 2 different broadcasting systems, actually. We're going to have the Pride FC NTSC, which if you're, old enough to remember, back in the day, VHS tapes, the recorders and the tape players had to be a certain region format. You had the NTSC and then you had the PAL, which was like Europe and stuff. But for the Pride FC NTSC, this is just kind of going out to the U.S., Canada, Mexico. Yeah, I think that's it. But it's just kind of fun to do that way than just this American broadcast is just for America, and this is just kind of like a bigger step than America type of thing. I want to say it might be massive or enormous. Somewhere around there, we can look at the subscription service, I believe, over here in the media section. Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, it's enormous. And then, yeah, this is massive plus 2 bigs. So that's just kind of, in case you want to know there. So that was fun. So that's just why our current finances are kind of pretty low, but obviously we're going to bounce right back to that. But just before we actually get into the the show as well, we're gonna look at the mail. Do have a fun little story to share with everybody as you see all the extended deals. And Family left Red Devil Sport. That's probably the biggest thing from that. And Forrest Griffin left the Minnesota Martial Arts Academy. So UFC 251, Usman and Jorge Masvidal main event. As I was watching it at my girlfriend's house. And before we kind of get it all loaded up, she sees, like, the octagon, and it's kind of like, and the fight card's getting run down and whatnot, as she just looks at me and goes, isn't this, fake? And I was just, like, flabbergasted. As someone who has watched pro wrestling and MMA for, pro wrestling more than MMA, but really more, 15-plus years. I've never had someone ask me if MMA was fake, and it just kind of was like, wow. And it's not a big deal. It just kind of was caught me for a loop. It's like usually someone questions if the pro wrestling thing is fake. So I just kind of gave her 2 Google images searches real quick, like an octagon and then like the Raw like ring, and I was just like, if you see something in this, the Raw ring, probably predetermined. They're probably not trying to really hurt each other. If you see something in the octagon, they're really trying to hurt each other type of thing. Which is kind of funny, because I was like, well, hopefully she doesn't have to look at Pride anytime soon, or she's going to think that's not real. So that's just kind of put my foot in my mouth there by just saying that if you see it in a ring, it's probably not real, and it's fucking Pride FC. It might have been, depending on who you talk to, the Yakuza might have been telling people to take some dives and whatnot, but Mako Krokop was giving people head kicks for real, type of thing. But that was a fun little thing that happened that made me want to share with the YouTube world, especially the WMMA 5 series. Just figured it'd be a fun little thing. And I wouldn't say that's a woman thing to think. I don't want to. That sounds very misogynistic. That was a very misogynistic statement to say, but I'm sure that it was just kind of like an uninformed opinion, and just kind of she asked. She wasn't like a fact like this isn't real type of thing. That was fun. It was a fun little adventure as we go on to the Pride 26 Bad to the Bone show. Kevin Randleman, Josh Barnett, Andre Lasky, Simi Chalette, Carlos Burrito, Heath Herring. The match that's finally happening if Carlos Burrito loses, as he is 0-5 in Pride, which is giving him way too many fucking matches in slack. Let's see, well, this happened before we started the series, but he's 0-4 in Pride. We're giving him a lot of slack, and he hasn't really had a great fight in any of those times. But we're finally gonna do this goddamn Heath Herring Carlos Burrito fight, which is crazy. He's second in the world in the super heavyweights and third in heavyweights. He's rated so high, but he hasn't done any. He's 12-6, and he's lost to Big Cat Erickson and Josh Barnett and Alistair Overeem. Like, he hasn't really. I guess Josh Barnett's a big, but it was even a poor fight. Same thing with the Mark Kerr fight. It was poor. You could blame that on Mark Kerr, I guess, but it's just it's not good. It's not good for Carlos Burrito, but he's got Heath Herring, Ogawa, and Alistair Overeem. Ogawa. And Takashi Sujiro and Yoshihiro Takayama. Not happening at the Pro Wrestling Noah ring, but in a fucking Pride FC ring. That's that match. They had a fucking war in 2010. One of the best matches of the year at that time. It's fucking awesome. As Ricardo, Arona, and Mauricio Shogun. We talked about all the prelims fights, so we can just go on. And we'll talk about some more with the analysis and whatnot. As we have their main event. They fought once before. Their last UFC fights were against each other in 2001. I want to say it was the end of the year. UFC 35. Kevin Randleman versus Josh Barnett. Barnett won, or Randleman won by unanimous decision, keeping his undisputed fighting championship heavyweight title before leaving for Pride FC as the two of the best fighters in the world. Randleman's ranked 6th, Barnett is 15th. The second time they've main evented a Pride event, and Randleman trains Hammer House, which Barnett is 1-0 against those other current members, and he's going to have a significant weight advantage. Burke at staff picks Mark L. is the lone backer of Kevin Randleman, while we have 6 others for Josh Barnett, the babyface assassin, versus the monster. As Andre, the Pitbull Lasky, taking on Hightower, Simi Gillette. What a fucking fight this is going to be. Super excited to see this. I wish this happened for real, as Andre, the Pitbull Lasky, has finished all 5 of his opponents. He's been on a fucking tear, to say the least, and this is his biggest fight yet against Simi Gillette. They're both in the top 10s in the super heavyweights, with Gillette's 4th and Arvlasky's 8th. Gillette trains at Golden Glory, which Arvlasky's 1-0. I believe that was against, I want to say Alistair Overeem was that? I'm trying to think. Yeah, it would be. And obviously, I mean, sure, you have the Dom Fries and the Trey Dellimans and even the previous, the demise of Tom Erickson, but the Arvlasky knockout of Overeem, and they've all been by knockout. It's just, he's awesome. I just love what Andre Arvlasky's been doing. As the significant weight advantage for Simi Gillette, the 9-inch reach advantage for Gillette. This is a tough matchup. You see what the Blairgrass staff picks for Arvlasky. 0-7, all in Simi Gillette's corner. But just because he's got the 9-inch reach, it doesn't mean anything. It could happen. He fucking lost to, Kevin Randleman by TKO strikes. Kevin Randleman's like 5'10". No, I guess we can't look. He's like, he's maybe 6 foot, if that. But this is, it's gonna be fun. He's just knocked out Pedro Rizzo, just knocked out The Rock. But, again, 2 guys who've had good to great fights in the past 2-3 years now, going at the war. It's gonna be awesome. As Carlos Burrito versus the Texas Crazy Horse Heath Herring. Match that's finally happening. As both are just outside the top 10. Heath Herring is number 10 in the super heavyweights. Burrito's 13th. Herring trains at Golden Glory, which Burrito is 0-1 against other current members of that team. Herring has won 3 of his last 5 fights by decision. Again, of course, we all know Burrito hasn't won a fight since November 2000. And the Blur Cuts Epics have him as 7-0, and he's a big favorite in the betting lines. Probably the demise of Carlos Burrito the last time we'll see him. As Ogawa taking on Alistair the Demolition Man Overeem. They're both barely cracking the top 20, as Overeem's 18th, Ogawa's 20th. Ogawa trains at the Takada Dojo, which Overeem is 0-1 against those other current members of that team. First time they have fought, Ogawa's going to have the significant weight advantage, but the betting odds have Overeem as a large margin favorite. It's 7-0 again with the Blur Cat Staff Picks. I haven't seen a close Blur Cat Staff Picks fight yet. We'll see if we're going to get one. No, as Takashi Sujiro, Yoshihiro Takayama. This is just fucking for the pro wrestling fans of us. Well, yeah, it's going to be awesome. Takashi Sujiro and Yoshihiro Takayama are going to fight for real. As Blur Cat Staff Picks 6-1 Sujiro to Takayama. As here we go. As I figured this would be pretty close. As Ricardo Arona, the Brazilian Tiger, taking on Mauricio Shogun Hua. 4 out of 5 of his last fights been won by decision. Ricardo Arona. This first time they have fought. Rua's going to have the significant weight advantage as Ricardo Arona 3-4. As Mauricio Shogun Hua has the slight advantage. For the Black Cat stat picks, we'll see what the betting odds have him as. As the other two prelim fights, Frank Mir trains at the Mendota Martial Arts Academy. Kirino is 1-0 against other current members of that team. They're both making their Pride debuts, and Frank Mir has the Black Cat staff picks. That's just pretty surprising, as Raphael Earthquake Kirino, I mean, he is 7-1. He's taken on somewhat big names. Not really, but this has probably been, obviously, great. The last time in UFC 49 was his last. It was a great fight at the end of October. And we'll see what Frank Mir's been. As Frank Mir has been kind of in Pancrase and M1, as he had a great, as the Kimura win, and in September at the Pancrase show against Dan Bobby Shazam. See what else we can look at. No, that's probably it. Yep. And then the actual opener, Fabricio Verdum versus Trey Trauma Tellingman. Blurcat stat picks 7-0 for Trey Tellingman. That's very interesting. Trey Tellingman has been, he's battling at a disadvantage, already with his physical condition. But he's been, putting up a bit of a fight as he's on a 2-fight win streak after getting knocked out by Andrei Lasky. Bounced back. But his wins, he beat Mike Bork, but Mike Bork is now down in rings as he didn't win anything in Bride. And, the Alexander Tsukanobi Kitakata, which those two, funny enough, have fought each other recently. Kind of at the bottom of the totem pole as far as heavyweight division goes. But we'll see what happens here. As it'd be a huge win for him over Fabricio Verdum. Same thing for Fabricio Verdum. At 1-0 in Bride, who beat, I believe it was Alexander Tsuka. So the two guys who have beaten Alexander Tsuka are going to battle it out to open up the show. Plus 280, minus 360, so it's kind of close. I'm surprised no one gave the young kid a shot here. Trey Tellingman at 38 years old, you never know when he might hang it up at 9-4-1. He is, taller for Fabricio Verdum. They weighed in the same. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu versus a karate submission fighting style of Trey Tellingman. At Lions Den, referee, our judges. Here we go. Tellingman ignores the offer to touch gloves. He steps forward, looking to strike. He steps into the pocket now. Lands a left jab, but finds nothing but there with the big right. They come forward. Verdum fires off a counter jab, but doesn't connect. Tellingman connects with a nice jab, then he catches Verdum with a right hook. Tellingman initiates an exchange of strikes. Verdum hits a counter left hand. Tellingman connects with a nice jab, and he scores the right cross. Tellingman can't connect with the jab, and then catches Verdum with a right hook. They step in to strike again. Verdum misses the right cross that leaves him open to counter. Tellingman attacks with the left cross. Tellingman comes forward to attack. He fires off a counter jab, but doesn't connect. Can't connect with setup strikes, then hits a nice straight right hand. He can't connect with the jab, and catches Verdum with a right hook. And that has opened up a noticeable gash above the eye of Verdum now, as they come forward to engage. Verdum misses a big right hand, putting him off balance, allowing Tellingman to attack with a left jab and a right hook. They engage in the center. Tellingman lands a left jab and a right cross. Verdum lands a left jab, but misses the right hook. They come forward to attack. Verdum manages a counter jab, as Tellingman throws 2 quick punches. Doesn't hit either of them. They engage in the center. Quick exchange of strikes, but doesn't manage to land anything significant. He's off target with a jab and also has a right hand taken on the glove to Tellingman, as Verdum misses the jab and also can't hit the right cross. Verdum appeared to be going to try again in close, but Tellingman took the initiative first. He lands a left hand and scores with the right cross. He steps forward again, and now he's in the pocket again. He opens up Verdum with a feint. He lands a jab and scores with the right cross. The two fighters engage with strikes, but nothing significant lands. With Verdum bleeding now, the referee pauses. The fight is to see if the cut can be checked out. He seems happy that the cut isn't going to be an issue, does the doctor, and we are back underway, probably back on the center. Tellingman attacks with strikes. Verdum hits a jab in exchange. Tellingman feints one way and the other way, then goes the other way, throwing Verdum off balance, leaving badly exposed. A jab lands from Tellingman, but Verdum evades the big right punch. Halfway into the first round now, a quick exchange of strikes doesn't lead to anything. Come forward, and the two fighters again exchange strikes. Verdum throws a counter jab and misses. A jab lands from Tellingman, but Verdum evades a big punch. Taking a few gulps of breath, Tellingman is giving the first hint that he is starting to tire a touch, as he steps forward, looking to strike. He's now in the pocket. Feints one way, throwing Verdum off balance, then steps the other way. Tallyman hits a left jab and then scores with the right cross. He comes forward looking to force a strike exchange. He lands a left hand in the exchange, does Verdum. Tallyman uses the left jab but misses with a vicious right hand. A quick exchange strikes doesn't lead to anything. Tallyman comes forward, walking down Verdum. Verdum tries to hit a jab but misses. Tallyman can't connect with the jab and then scores with the right cross. Tallyman comes forward, then the two fighters exchange strikes as Verdum fires off a counter jab, throws a 1-2, but Verdum was equal to it. He steps forward and strike exchange begins as he misses. He tries to hit a jab, but it misses, does Verdum, as Tallyman hits a left hand, but it misses the big right hand that follows up. I mean, so many strikes have been used. Nobody's tried for a takedown or anything. 9 minutes, or 8 minutes, really, end this fight. As Tallyman comes forward and the two fighters engage in some strikes. Fires off a counter jab. Does not connect. Then Tallyman connects with a jab and finds nothing but air with the big right. As he clearly wants to get in close enough to grapple, but is wary about getting hit is Verdum. As a punch from Tallyman fails to land. As now he seizes that chance and grabs Tallyman into the clinch. Is he looking like he was trying to pull this fight into the ground now, into his guard? As he gets sucked into the guard. Way to go for Raphael Verdum. Let's see if you can do damage in a minute 20 now. Well, a minute left in the round. He's looking for a fucking armbar from the bottom, but Tallyman blocks it. He hits a short but sharp shoulder smash onto the face of Verdum. Another short fucking shoulder smash into Verdum. As now this is to the face and the upper chest. A third fucking shoulder smash. And that's tougher for Mauricio Verdum. Here he is. He gets him down. He gets a takedown. I believe it's going to count that as a takedown. It did not. But he gets him down to the ground. Looking for the armbar at the bottom. And then he gets fucking shoulder smashed for a couple of times before the round ends. You have to give that to Trey Tallyman. He caused the damage with the cut. Pretty much once he got taken to the ground, he did pretty much all the damage down there as well. It's, Mauricio Verdum is in trouble here against Trey Tallyman. As we're 5 minutes left in the round, into the fight rather, not just the round, as he lands a jab and a nice straight right hand. Confidently moves in closer, looking to throw some more strikes. It's looking like he was going to step in the grapple, but Tallyman simply took the initiative first. He can't connect with the jab, and it's a nice straight right hand. Here's Mauricio Verdum. He shoots in for the takedown. He almost got away with it, but he's left hopping away while Verdum has a hold of his leg. As he's unable to complete the takedown, he just pushes Tallyman up against the ropes. As now Tallyman uses his wrestling skills to prevent Verdum from throwing any knee strikes. As again, Verdum keeps him stuck against the ropes. They engage a grueling close-up battle of short strikes for the next 30 seconds or so. As again, he maintains his control, but Tallyman wrestles his way out of trouble and circles back into the center. As he fails to find home for his jab, and catches Verdum with a right hook. Few deep breaths portray that Tallyman is starting to get into the deeper reach of his gas tank, halfway into the round now. Verdum shoots in for the takedown again. 0 for 2 on takedowns as he's left hopping away on one leg. As again, he uses the ropes and drives them into the ropes. I fucked that all up. As Verdum tries to maintain control, but Tallyman wrestles his way out of trouble and circles back to the center. Verdum had looked like he was angling for a takedown, but couldn't take the initiative. He throws a 1-2, but Verdum was equal to it. He throws a punch, but Verdum again was equal to it. Again, looking for the takedown, but this time he gets it, and now Tallyman has to pull guard. 1 for 3 on takedowns. Minute left in the fight. He's looking to get past guard. He's now in half guard, though. He unloads with some right hands, but fairly minimal damage. That's the end of the fight. Verdum just couldn't get it going. Took him too long to get stuff going. And you have to give that to Trey Tallyman. Unanimous decision. Win. We have Tallyman getting... Oh, wow. So we're going to have a split decision win for Mauricio Verdum. I'll be a son of a bitch. I don't know about that, folks. Maybe I'm in the minority here, but I really felt like Trey Tallyman won that fight. We'll look at the fight metrics. The entire fight, he landed more, standing for sure. Damn near doubled him. He was only 1 for 3 on takedowns. He was 1 for 1 on ground passes. Felt like he did more damage with the cut. I don't know. I wouldn't give that a split decision win. Maybe we run this back. We might have to run that back. That's tough. That is tough. As Mauricio Verdum thanks his sponsors, all of his fans. He's then asked who he'd like to fight next. He wants to smack around Mirko Krokop. Alright, first of all, that's not going to happen. You should have lost to Trey Tallyman. Mirko Krokop will fuck you up for Mauricio Verdum. Do not do this. As he's good in these interviews and knows how to sell himself. as they were going on the Frank Mir. Raphael, Earthquake, Kirino, 4-1, 7-1, 6-1, 245. Raphael Kirino at 6'8", 245, a giant man. As both Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu backgrounds, minus 290 for Frank Mir, plus 230. I believe it's going to go either way, though. I think it's pretty close. Big John McCarthy, the only man big enough to referee this one. As our judges at ringside, here we go. Start with a touch of gloves. Kirino had looked like he was angling for a takedown attempt, but couldn't take the initiative. Mir can't connect with the jab, and he lands a big right hand. Kirino shoots in for the takedown. Mir almost stops the takedown, but is left hopping on one leg while Kirino holds the other. Kirino can't get Mir down, and so he settles for pushing him up against the ropes. As it isn't pretty, but Kirino has Mir stuck up against the ropes. Next minute or so, we see them engage in close quarters dirty boxing. As they're looking to get him a takedown here, as Kirino, see if he does it. Doesn't work. Frank Mir blocks it. Now, he turns so that Kirino's now the one up against the ropes as well. He mirrors some dirty boxing. But Kirino works enough space so he can pull and clear and circle out. He shoots in for the takedown. Again, Frank Mir kind of stops. He almost got away, but he's left hopping on one leg. So he pushes him up against the ropes. He's trying to do another takedown. He gets the takedown this time. And now Frank Mir past the pull guard. Kirino throws a few strikes, but they are thrown without venom. As Kirino tries to pound on Mir, but none of the blows land with any degree of power. As Mir tries to lock in an armbar from the bottom, but he cannot secure the arm. He throws a few relatively weak right hands. Does Kirino and fires off a handful of punches, each easily being blocked with the gloves. Halfway into the first round now, as just to contend to throw a couple of punches to the body. Kirino punches down as Mir, but they punches down at Mir, but they are easily taken on the gloves again. He has another few relatively weak right hands. Doesn't let Mir pull him in close to be smothered. Big John McCarthy stands back up, and Kirino looks to go right back down. As again, he's unsuccessful. He sprawls him, then he steps back up to safety. As he's coming forward, willing to take a few shots as long as it gets close enough to wrestle. Mir fails to land. He grabs Frank Mir, trying to take him down. He can't get takedown as Mir instead wrestles his way into controlling the grapple. Now he's looking for a trip takedown of his own. And again, Kirino blocks it, keeping a solid base. There's another trip takedown, and he gets it. He gets the outside leg trip sweeps Kirino down to the ground. And now, with 2 minutes left, Frank Mir's on top. As he's looking to catch his breath, Mir's just can then throw a couple of punches to the body. Now he's trying to move guard, but Frank Mir doesn't allow it, does Kirino, as Mir fires a few punches, but they aren't thrown with any great force. He's trying to move the guard, but again, he's not allowing it. Inside control, he throws a couple of punches designed to keep him guessing. But Kirino just keeps trying to fight to go into guard, but he can't get anywhere with it, and that's the end of the first round. You know, it's a close one. It's a close one. Raphael Kirino was just trying for takedowns and trying for takedowns. He just, 1 for 6 on the takedowns. Sure, he landed more strikes. I'm going to give that to Frank Mir. He had the power strike. At least he tried to do a submission. Raphael Kirino just too unsuccessful. 1 for 6 on takedowns. I just can't give him that round. We'll see what happens in the second, though. It's still pretty close. He could sweep it away from him. As Mir hits a left hand, but misses a vicious right hand. Hits a tentative jab, does Kirino. Frank Mir connects with the jab, but Kirino avoids the big right. He's slowing down just to start into his gas tank, does Kirino, as he may have been setting up to shoot, but Mir aggressively took the initiative. Frank Mir lands a left jab and then finds nothing but air with the big right. He's still moving well, but he's definitely breathing a little deeper now. He moves in closer, looking to open up and attack, does Frank Mir, as Kirino hits 2 tentative jabs. I would say hand, but it's 2 left hands, but neither with anything behind them. Throws a 1-2, but Kirino is equal to it. He tries to intimidate his opponent with some trash talking, does Frank Mir. Hopefully it's in Portuguese, or I'm assuming he does not understand it, as Kirino comes in looking for a takedown, and he gets it. He gets the single leg, as Mir is left on his back, pulling guard. He fires away with punches, but does little in the way of damage. He tries it for another armbar from the bottom. He can't get the arm. As throws a few strikes with her without venom. More fires away with punches, but Mir isn't dumb. As Mir loosens up his guard while defending the strikes, as Kirino's left standing in front of him. As now Kirino moves back and allows Frank Mir to stand back up. That's interesting. A minute left in the fight. Mir moves in on Kirino, preparing to throw. Kirino may have been setting up to shoot, but Mir aggressively took the initiative as he lands a javelin, catches Kirino with a right hook. Looking for the takedown. Mir partially defends it, and 1 for 2 on takedowns for this round, so he's in total 2 for 8. As Kirino has a hold of the other one, he can't get Mir down, so he settles for pushing over against the ropes. And now looking for another takedown. He's trying to grab him low by both legs. He gets it. So 3 for 9 on takedowns. As Mir has to pull half guard. 10 seconds left in the fight. Fires away with punches, but Mir, is not going to take any damage from him. And that's the end of the fight as a whole. As, this is... you have to give it to Raphael Kirino. I know it's tough. 2 for 3 on takedowns on that second round. He landed way more strikes. As a whole, Frank Mir from the bottom. He tried that armbar again. He couldn't get it. It just, it was tough. I think you have to give it to him. Yeah, you could say it's a split decision. I'm gonna have to probably say unanimous. We'll see. Okay, so we got one for Mir, got one for Kirino, and one for Kirino. All right, so there's a split decision for Raphael Kirino. That one actually makes more sense than the first one. So 2 split decisions. The judges are gonna have to be on their best behavior. 1 for 1, I think, on judges as far as good advantages and bad advantages as far as who was right and who was wrong. But Raphael Kirino gives a name check to everyone at Nova. Urano is man, I think that's Uniano. I feel like I'm mispronouncing that. Sorry for one. Has all of his various sponsors and then his friends, family, supporters. As he wants to fight next, and he says that he'll fight whoever they put in front of him. But he thinks Alexei Olenek would be a particularly good contest. That would be a pretty fun fight. As our last prelim fight, the Brazilian Tiger, Ricardo Arona versus Mauricio Shogunua. As we had, 1-0, 5-2, both in the minuses, minus 150, minus 110. 2 young kids going at it. 2 fucking killers, if you will. A Muay Thai background, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background, both from Brazil. Big John McCarthy staying out there for this one as our judges again. Both fighters come in at the same weight yesterday, but Rua has clearly have some significant weight advantage now, though. He probably bulked back up to like 215, 225 as they touch gloves. Step again, who aggressively gets the dominant position in the clinch. He's trying to lock Ricardo Arona into the Muay Thai clinch. Arona out-wrestles him, though, as he gets himself into a better position of the grapples. That was a good job by Ricardo Arona to get out of that Muay Thai clinch very early on. And then he's looking to muscle up against the ropes. He does so. Now he's up against the ropes, looking for the trip takedown. As he gets it, he gets taken down by a quick inside leg trip, and now he's got to pull guard. Arona's smothering him now. Throws a few right hands. Rua is trying to work for some separation. He tries to quickly scramble his way back into better position, but he was too quick. The Brazilian Tiger too quick as he grabs the side control before Rua can get back up. Throws a few strikes, but clear just slowing things down so he can catch his breath. As he blocks Rua as he tries to transition to guard. Throws a few right hands to the body. Begins to try to get himself in the mount. He finds himself unable to get mount on this attempt, as now he tries to pull guard but doesn't get anywhere with the attempt. Does a few weak-looking punches as he decides on his next move. Hua tries to transition the guard, but he can't manage it. Inside control now, Arona begins working to get the mount. He loses his control momentarily as he tries to get the mount, and the scramble begins. The scramble sees Arona up first, only to get grabbed and wrestled up against the ropes almost immediately. Halfway into the first round, he's looking for that Muay Thai clinch again, as Arona again blocks it. As he smothers them up against the ropes, stomps on this, another hard foot stomp. As now Rua this time. Is looking for a leg sweep. Doesn't get it, though. Arona blocks it. Takedown may have been blocked, but Arona's still stuck up against the ropes, and he can't seem to get free. As, again, looking for that trip takedown. Oh, no, he's looking to go low for the double leg. As he gets the double leg. So 1 for 2, I think, on takedowns for Mauricio Shogun. It might be 3. Might be 1 for 3, but it's kind of close. As Rua fires off a handful of punches, each easily being blocked with gloves. Using an underhook to set it up as Arona looks to scramble for position. Wasn't enough separation, though, as Hua is able to catch him and secure side control now. Throws a few right hands as he takes a moment to plan ahead. Transitions to half guard. Hua throws some small strikes, but it's clearly just taking a moment to try and catch his breath, as Arona uses an underhook as the basis to work his way up to the standing position, and results in that both fighters are standing, grappling a tight clinch. Hua is trying to push Arona so that his back is up against the ropes. It does so. Now his back is stuck up against the ropes. He tries to force him in the Muay Thai clinch. He can't get it. Arona just is fighting so hard to get away from that Muay Thai clinch. As he goes low again, looking for a single leg, but leaving Arona hopping in danger of getting a takedown. He gets it. He sweeps the standing leg, and he puts him he puts him down hard and is inside control to end out the first round, it looks like. And he loads with some right hands, but they're dealt with comfortably. Tries to transition the guard, but he can't manage, and that's the end of the first round. What a great even first round. 2 for 3 on takedowns for Mauricio Shogun Hua. 1 for 1 on takedowns for Ricardo Arona. 0 for 2 on ground passes. We have 21 to 15 on the strikes. As a total, you have to give that to Mauricio Shogun. It's pretty close though. Ricardo Arona could definitely steal this one in the second round. We'll see what happens. As a takedown 10 from Arona right out of the gates. That's a smart move. He gets it too. A single leg, and now Hua has to pull his guard. As Arona, he's smothering him. Clock's running down. He's being smothered. Still smothering him. Now just throwing a couple of punches to the body. He bursts into life and tries to scramble into a better position. He may regret that, Joe, as this gives Arona the perfect opportunity to come over the top and get side control. Halfway into the second round now, he tries to get himself in mount. He almost gets mount, but Hua was ready for it and scrambles. As now, Arona ends up on the bottom, with Rua inside. What a great job by Mauricio Shogun Hua. Arona was trying to just smother away the time and try to get a steal, a split decision. But, Rua gets out of it, and now he's in top and side control for 2 minutes of this fight. Arona doesn't take any undue damage from it. He blocks a temptable guard, as he fires off a few punches, but they don't throw with any great force. Tries to pull guard on Hua, but doesn't get anywhere with the attempt, as he pounds away, but Arona is in trouble by them, and again tries to move guard, but he doesn't allow it. Pounds away with punches, does minimal on the way of damage. Takes the opportunity, manages to pull half guard, so that's Arona trying to do something for the bottom, but it's too late, and that's the end of the fight. As, wow, Ricardo Arona, the judges, what are you fucking smoking, people? Unanimous decision. I don't know about all that. Look at the fight metrics. I mean, it's not even close. 42 to 19, 2 for 2 on 2 for 3 on takedowns. He didn't have a single ground pass. These judges, boy, the Pride 26 bad to LeBon, more bad to the fucking judge. Jesus. What a tough night for the prelim card. My God, Ricardo Arona thanks all of his sponsors for backing him. Also thanks has a lot of respect for Mauricio Shogun Hua and praises his stuff. Man, they got fucked on that one. So Takashi Sugiura goes head to head with Yoshihiro Takayama. Let's hope this doesn't go to the judges. As again, two fighters that are minus 110, minus 150. Pro wrestling background, 36 years old, 32 years old. 6'5", 265, 5'11", 225. Takayama's gonna tower him in the fucking stare down. So referee, our judges, Gi's going up at least 40 pounds. Takayama gets a good reaction with the fans as he enters. He's fighting in front of his home ground. We are in Tokyo. As we're underway, start with a touch of gloves. Sugiura may have been aiming to get in close, but Takayama aggressively took the initiative first. He can't hit the setup left jab and hits a nice straight right hand that lands hard. He can't hit the setup left jab and catches Sugiura with a crunching right hook. Takayama hits a left hand but misses the big right hand that follows. As Takayama looks confident, shortening the range as he looks to strike. As Sugiura appear to be going to try and get in close, but Takayama taking the initiative first. A jab is wide for Takayama, then hits Sugiura with a straight right hand. He does a quick 1-2, but doesn't land either blow. Sugiura is able to grab Takayama using his wrestling skills. Sugiura is trying to push Takayama up against the ropes. As Takayama out-wrestles him, though, he hits Sugiura with a short strikes to the side of the head while grappling. He looks to muscle Sugiura back up against the ropes. He does so, and now Sugiura pins him up against the ropes. As Takayama catches Sugiura with a knee strike to the ribs from the clinch while he is pressed up against the ropes. Smothered against the ropes, Sugiura cannot get free. And they engage in grueling close-up battle of short strikes for roughly a minute. Takayama pins Sugiura up against the ropes with dirty boxing to inflict some damage. Having been stuck against the ropes for some time now, without any progress, the referee brings him back in the center. As Takayama is feeling almost not even 4 minutes in this fight, he's already feeling fatigued. As his hands are starting to lower just a fraction, Takayama throws a punch for Sugiura was equal to it. Sugiura gets a hold of Takayama. Look at the muscle up against the ropes. He does so. Now he's got him up against the ropes. He leans all of his weight up against Takayama and pressing him up against the ropes. Next minute or so, they see him hitting each other with short punches. As now Takayama's looking really tired now. He wrestles back up against Sugiura, turning him enough so that he could escape from the ropes. Taking a few gulps of breath now, Sugiura is starting to tire a touch. Sugiura comes in aggressively, as willing to risk getting hit so he can grapple. He fails to find home the jab of Takayama, but then hits Sugiura with a straight right. Without doing much damage, Sugiura is able to clinch without taking probably much damage. I fucked that one up. As Sugiura is trying to push Takayama so that his back is up against the ropes, he does so. Now Takayama's pinned. As Sugiura is looking really tired now, showing good control, the fatigued Sugiura keeps Takayama up against the ropes in control. Sugiura and Takayama both looking ragged with fatigued. remain up against the ropes for the next minute, doing little other than the occasional short punches. As Sujiro tries to keep him up against the ropes, but Takayama again works enough space and circles out back to the center. A punch from Takayama fails to land. Sujiro gets a hold of Takayama, not having taken even one shot while coming in. Sujiro tries to muscle Takayama against the ropes. He can't move Takayama at all, as he finds himself being out-wrestled, and we have 1 minute of the round remaining. Takayama tries to take Sujiro down. Sujiro stops the takedown attempt and uses his wrestling skills to take control of the grappling. He's using his wrestling skills. Sujiro is trying to push Takayama up against the ropes. Sujiro can't move Takayama at all, though, and he finds himself being out-wrestled, and Takayama is blown up at this point, to say the least. He's trying to get a takedown with 2 seconds left. He gets it. The quickest fucking takedown I've ever seen in my life. What a way to end the round with a 2-second takedown. 1 for 2 on takedowns. It's pretty close. 23 to 30 on strikes. I'm gonna give the nod to Takayama. Actually, it's more than that. It's 32. I forgot the one jab down there. So yeah, you have to give the Takayama. 31 to 23. The 1 for 2 on takedowns. Yeah, I'm giving that to Takayama. As now 5 minutes left in the fight. Last round. Here we go. Looked like we were about to see Sujiro try to get some grappling started, but Takayama's more aggressive. He lands a left hand, but Sujiro evades the big right. A punch from Takayama fails to land. Sujiro is able to grab Takayama. He tries to wrestle him backwards up against the ropes, but Takayama isn't going anywhere and looking for the trip takedown. Sujiro blocks the attempted trip and takes control of the grapple. Tries to wrestle Takayama backwards up against the ropes. He doesn't let himself be driven back, though, and gains a dominant position in the grapple instead. From the look of things, I don't think Sujiro has much energy left. Both men don't, as Takayama attempts to wrestle Sujiro to the ground. He gets the takedown. That's a great takedown for Takayama, as Sujiro has to pull guard now. Takayama keeps it tight to Sujiro, preparing him with short strikes, as Takayama looks like he's almost on his feet with exhaustion, as he tries to smother Takayama by holding him, but he can't keep control of it. Those are minor strikes to Takayama, as Sujiro tries to pull Takayama in close, and looks like he's smothering him, but he doesn't get anywhere with it, as Takayama throws a few strikes, but is clearly slowing things down so he can think. Sujiro grabs Takayama, he draws him in close and smothers him. Takayama starts trying to get past the guard. He passes half guard, starts trying to work to get out of half guard into better position. He is too good for Sujiro, slipping out of half guard and straight into mount, and that is the end of the fight. Look at the fight metrics. All Takayama. Unanimous decision. Yoshiro Takayama. There you go. As we finally got a decision right, as it's still another average fight, as here we go, as for the post-fight interview, Yoshiro Takayama thanks all of his sponsors for backing him, and also thanks his family, friends, supporters. Takayama says it was a tough fight and gives a show of respect to Takashi Sujiro. 0-2 for Takashi Sujiro, and 2 for 2 for Yoshiro Takayama. As Naoya Ogawa taking on Alistair, the Demolition Man Overeem. Our next main card fight, 6'2", 5'3", both ginormous men, 6'4", 255, 6'5", 240. Judo background, Muay Thai background. This should be standing. Minus 800 for the betting lines for Alistair the Demolition Man Overeem. Ogawa could steal this one, though. I wouldn't put it past Ogawa at all. Referee Yuji Shimada, as round 1 begins. There's a notable lack of usual touching of gloves as they begin. They stand a tray, but all the shots are either off target or safely dealt with. In exchange of strikes, sees both fighters fail to anything significant. As stalking forward, Overeem backs Ogawa back up towards the corner. He steps into the pocket, showing little fear of Ogawa. A flurry of 4 punches from Overeem, seeing them all connect, and he hits Ogawa with a beauty of a straight right. It's a 5-punch combo from Overeem in the corner. Again, he stalks him back into the corner, hits a counter left hand as Ogawa. He feints one way, does Overeem, throwing Ogawa off balance, then he steps up to the other side. He can't connect with the step, strikes, and then scores with the right cross. Again, stalks him into the corner. He avoids the jab, is able to move into the pocket, hits a left jab, then hits a nice straight right hand that lands hard. And Ogawa lands a weak, tentative jab. He lands a 4 out of the 5-punch, quick punch combo. But Ogawa dodges the big right head kick that followed. He lands a left jab and then hits Ogawa with a straight right. Confidently moves in closer, looking to throw some strikes. Ogawa looked like he was going to shoot, but Overeem simply took the initiative first. He can't connect with the jab, and then lands a vicious right cross that might have knocked him out. It did. He knocks him out. Ogawa is down and out. Your winner by knockout, Alistair the Demolition Man Overeem at 6-3. 6-3 for Ogawa as well. Yeah, that was fun. That was nice to see a knockout on this card. Desperately needed a knockout, even if it was kind of a one-sided fight. But Overeem gives a name check there for the Golden Glory. All of his favorite sponsors, friends, family, supporters celebrating the win. Overeem brags about laying his opponent out, and he warns that he can knock out anyone in the world. Oh boy. As Carlos Burrito versus the Texas Crazy Horse, Keith Haring. As Carlos Burrito's job is on the line. It's 12-6, 17-4, 24, 34 years old of age. Both 6'4". Heath Haring's going to be about 10 pounds heavier. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu wrestling background. We'll see what happens. So even though Heath Haring is a wrestler, he can stand and fucking trade some shots with about anybody. Big John McCarthy's a referee. Our judges, opening bell rings, they touch gloves. Haring shoots into the takedown right out of the gate. As Burrito partially defends it, ends up hopping on one foot as Haring has to hold the other one. He drives them up against the ropes. Now he's smothering up against the ropes. They remain there for at least a minute, hitting each other with short punches to the body and the side of the head. As it now Overeem, as Haring hits him with a short left uppercut as he pins him up against the ropes. 60 seconds goes by with something of a stalemate happening. Either fighter begins to able to improve their position or generate any advantage, with the fight having been stuck against the ropes rather for a lengthy period of time. The referee restarts them back in the center. Haring steps forward, willing to take a few shots as long as he can get close enough to wrestle. Burrito throws a 1-2, but Haring was equal to it, as with a clear opportunity, Haring is able to move in fast and clinch with Burrito. Haring throws a few close-range strikes, but Burrito smothers the shot and takes control of the grappling, as Burrito tries to lock his legs around the waist of Haring, wanting to pull him down to the floor, as Haring cannot prevent it and is sucked into the guard. Burrito tries to wrap Haring into a triangle, but Haring blocks the triangle attempt, begins to try to pass guard. He tries to counter the pass attempt and then finds himself scrambling for position. Scramble leaves Haring turtled up, facing Burrito. They move into the second half of this round as Burrito unloads with some big right hands, but Haring is able to deal with most of them. As Burrito prepares to throw a knee strike, but can't keep control of Haring, who's able to spring back up. Haring again, trying for the takedown. He gets it this time as Burrito has to pull guard. Time slips away as Haring just keeps him stuck against the ground again, just wasting time, looks to get past the guard. He fights off the position, and they wind up scrambling for position as Burrito's on top, but he gets, first he gets out of there, and then he gets grappled, and then wrestled up against the ropes immediately by Haring, as looking to get double underhooks now. He's just got him trapped. As a minute elapses, very little happening, other than short punches and posturing, again smothering up against the ropes. Man, what a tough fight for Carlos Burrito. He's up against a guy who's just not willing to do anything as far as keeping it close, keeping him trapped against either the ropes or the ground. As Big John McCarthy stands back up with a minute left in the fight, or in the first round. He uses the left jab, but he misses the vicious right hand as Burrito comes in, apparently willing to take some hits if that means getting close enough to grapple. As he can't connect with the jab and then lands a right hand. Haring grabs him. He's looking for the trip takedown. He keeps a solid base, though, as he blocks it. And that's the end of the first round. Carlos Burrito, he's getting outstriked at least, 32-47. And then you have 1 for 3 on takedowns for Heath Haring. His 2 for 2 on ground passes. The submission, the triangle attempt by Carlos Burrito. It's tough. But you have to give that to Heath Haring. We'll see what happens in this second round, as Haring lands a pair of tentative jabs. The jab is wide from Burrito, but then catches Haring with a right hook. Haring shoots in for the takedown. He gets it now, so 2 for 4 on takedowns for Heath Haring, as Burrito has to pull guard. As an end guard, he can just throw a couple of punches. Time slips away. Yeah, he's just keeping him stuck against the ground. He keeps him guessing this time. Burrito grabs a hold of an arm, looking for a triangle choke from the bottom, as Haring doesn't let Burrito get it. Tries to pass. Burrito fights the attempt off. They wind up scrambling for position. Ends up holding a waist lock behind Haring as Carlos Burrito is kneeling over. He pounds away, but is unable to land many clean shots. He isn't troubled by the strikes as Heath Haring. He takes the opportunity to stand back up, albeit under back control, as Burrito lets go and backs away from Haring, apparently unhappy with his position. As now he's slowing down a bit. He can't connect with the jab, and then hits a nice straight right hand. Haring is able to grab Burrito. Final minute left in the fight. He's looking for a trip takedown. He gets it. 3 for 5 on takedowns for Heath Haring. He fires off a handful of punches, each easily being blocked. Tries to move him, but doesn't allow it. Fires off a few right hands, but Burrito isn't troubled by them, and that's the end of the fight. Your winner, by unanimous decision, Heath Haring. There you go. Tough loss for Carlos Burrito. 12-7, 18-4 for Heath Haring. as he praises Burrito for the tough fight. He gives a name check to everyone at Golden Glory, all of his various sponsors, his friends, family, and supporters. What a night for Golden Glory, as Lasky and fucking Heath Aaron getting the win. As the co-main event, Andre, the Pitbull Lasky versus Hightower, Simi Chalette, 8-2, 24 years old, 6'4", 235, a giant man. But speaking of giant men, they don't get more bigger than fucking Simi Chalette, 6'11", 260, from Holland, as 17-11 rather, as kickboxing background, sambo boxing background for Andre Lasky. Golden Glory, let's see if the Golden Glory trend keeps going. It looks like it will, according to the betting odds, but we'll see what happens. As our referee, our judges, significant disadvantage in size, obviously. Charlotte has at least 25 pounds on him. 20, as the opening bell rings, fighters touch gloves, they engage. Lasky hits a left jab and finds his right cross. His right cross blocked as he uses the left jab and hits a leg kick. Two fighters engage. Lasky misses a big right hand, putting him off balance and allowing Chalette to attack with a jab. It's a right hand that clearly landed. It landed cleanly as both fighters come together and strike. Lasky can't hit the right cross. Chalette can't catch Lasky, whose good head movement allows him to flip past from a two-punch combo. Two fighters engage with strikes, but neither land anything significant. They come together and strike as Lasky hits a left hand. Chalette uses the left jab and doesn't find the mark of the right hook. He moves in and engage. Lasky hits a left cross. Chalette lands a left jab and has a right hand absorbed on gloves. Both fighters meet in the center. Both fighters strike, but without success. Lasky finds his right cross blocked. Chalette throws a couple of punches to the body and a roundhouse kick to the body, but Lasky is too quick and moves out of range. Both fighters step in to strike. Lasky scores with a left hook, rather. Chalette hits a left jab and has a right hand blocked. Two fighters come forward and engage. Chalette misses a big right hand, putting him off balance and allowing Lasky to attack with the left jab and the right hand that just narrowly fails to connect. They meet in the center and strike. Lasky has a right hand blocked. Chalette misses the right with a roundhouse kick to the body. Both fighters come together and strike. Lasky lands a quick punch, but gets right hand blocked as Chalette scores the jab and also has scores another great right hook. Both fighters move in and engage. Chalette slips past the right hook attempt and lands a left hook. They engage in with some strikes, but happens in the center of the ring. But neither fighter lands anything good. They engage in the center. Chalette counters a right hand with a left hook. Both fighters meet in the center again. Lasky misses the right hand, putting him off balance, allowing Chalette to attack with a pair of jabs that are followed by a right hand that narrowly fails to connect. Halfway into the first round, still moving well, but it's definitely breathing a little deeper is Chalette. He rolls his shoulders to relax them, moves forward. Two combatants meet in the center and they start to strike. Lasky connects to the left hand. Chalette hits a good right hand. They come together and strike. Lasky hits a left hand. Chalette scores the jab and has a right hand blocked. Moves forward in and engages. Lasky hits a left cross, lands a left jab, and has a right hand absorbed on gloves. They meet in the center. There's a quick exchange of strikes, but nothing manages to land anything significant, rather, as Lasky finds his right cross blocked. Chalette throws a couple of punches and a roundhouse kick to the body, but Lasky is too quick and moves out of range. They come together and engage. Chalette hits a left jab, but it misses with the right hand. Lasky connects to the left hand, and it looks like there's a cut above the eye of Chalette as they engage. There's a burst of strikes, but neither fighter gets caught. He tries a right hand, does Lasky, but it gets absorbed on Chalette's gloves. Chalette misses the head kick. Lasky's still moving well, but he's now breathing a little deeper now. They step in the strike. Lasky slips past the right hook, counters with a left cross. They strike some more. Chalette hits a left jab and also lands a left kick to the rib cage. Lasky finds a way to pass his opponent's guard and lands a sharp 1-2. A little fatigued, maybe creeping, and Chalette is starting to move noticeably more slower as the two combatants meet in the center and they start to strike. Chalette misses the right hook and gets countered with a left hook. Two fighters engage. Lasky lands a nice right hook. He lands a left jab but also hits a good right hand. As they engage, Lasky finds his right cross is blocked. Chalette is well off his target with a head kick. As our referee calls for the pause as he wants to check the cut on Chalette. As it's not a fight ender. And we're back underway. Minute 30 left in the first round. They engage with some strikes, but nothing significant lands. Breathing very hard now. Chalette is looking very ragged. Minute left in the round. They move in and engage. Chalette is off target with a jab, but scores with a great right hook. And he also scores with a great right hook to Lasky. As he's wincing with that last punch may have actually damaged his own hand. That right hook might have broken some bones. As any sort of damage to that right hand is going to cause Lasky some major problems. Gillette is looking very tired. A quick exchange of strikes does not produce any damage. They meet in the center and they start to strike. Arlovsky misses the right hook and gets countered with the right cross, and that's the end of the first round. What a great first round of stand-up fucking boxing or kickboxing, as it's pretty close. Yeah, Gillette had the cut. You have Arlovsky may have damaged his own right hand. 16 to, we have Gillette has the more strikes landed. It's a close one, though. I'm not going to call one yet. I think if you have to give that round to someone, I'd give it to, I'd actually give it to Arlovsky. And that's kind of probably not the right thing to do, but I got to give it to him. I think he did more damage. But not just Gillette, but his own damn hand. We'll see what happens, though. It's still very close. It comes down to this final 5 minutes of this fight. As they engage, Arlovsky misses the right hook and gets countered with a left hook. They engage some more, as Arlovsky misses the right hand, and allowing Gillette to counter with a good right hand. They stand and trade in the center of the ring, but neither fighter can land a good shot. They meet in the center and start to strike. Both fighters throw. Both fighters fail to find the target, as Arlovsky is off target with a left jab and also misses the right hand. Gillette has a right hook blocked. A few deep breaths betray that Arlovsky's starting to get in the deeper reaches of the gas tank. They go toe-to-toe with strikes, but flurry ends without any undue damage, as they're looking shattered now, as they clinch up rather than try to move away. As Arlovsky's trying to muscle him up against the ropes, he does so. Now Gillette's pinned up against the ropes. There's a knee strike to the side of the ribs. It gets caught with a knee strike to the stomach. Another knee strike to the stomach. There's a knee inside his own knee now, as he's looking to knee him in the thigh, but this time Gillette works enough space out and he pulls center out in the circle, and circles out rather, as Gillette seems to be fighting against exhaustion. And they come together and strike. Arlovsky misses the big right hand, allowing Gillette to counter with a left jab and a good right hook. As the fighter is looking shattered again, they clinch up. As using his wrestling skills, Arlovsky's trying to push Gillette up against the ropes. He does so. And now he's looking really tired, as Andrei Arlovsky. He gets caught with a knee to the side of the stomach, a vicious foot stomp, minute left in the fight, a knee strike to the thigh, another hard foot stomp, another knee strike, this time in the inside of his own thigh, another knee strike, this time above the hip. He goes for the knee strike to the thigh, but Gillette pulls the clinch tire to block it, as he smothers Gillette against the ropes and takes a knee to strike to the ribs. That was all Andrei Arlovsky. That was awesome. That was a great job by Arlovsky. 11-4 on strikes. I think he won it. I think it was a unanimous decision. What a fucking win for Andrei Arlovsky. Wow. Wow. The judges have been ruining this fucking card. Jesus. Simish gets the win. I think the entire fight, you look at it, and let's see, 27, 16, 18, so 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So they both have 27. Both had 27 even, so it is kind of close. But it's I have to give it to Arlovsky. That, especially that second round. He had the advantage. You could say there was more strikes landed here, but it just, Gillette had the cut. Man. Another tough one for the judges. Poor Arlovsky, man. That's a tough loss. That would have been huge for him. Like, that's a title fight in the future if he beats Gillette there. But Semi Gillette gives a name check to everyone at Golden Glory. Again, Golden Glory keeping the trend going. All of his various sponsors and his friends, family, supporters. Gillette says that it was a tough fight and gives a show of respect to Arlovsky. Man, this main event, it's going to go to the judges, and someone's probably going to get fucked out of this main event here. It's the monster, Kevin Randleman, as he squares off against the babyface assassin, Josh Barnett, in a Pride heavyweight division fight, as Big John McCarthy, our referee. Kevin Randleman is 5'10". I was saying he was like 5'11", took on, and he knocked out Semi Gillette. Our judges, as they face-off, always serves as the showcase of how much taller Josh Barnett is. He towers over Kevin Randleman. They didn't say that about fucking Semi Gillette, though. Towers over goddamn everybody. There's the opening bell. And we got a takedown right out of the rip from Josh Barnett, as Randleman can't stop the takedown. He's got to pull guard, pounds away, does Josh Barnett, struggles to deal with him. He's trying to pass the guard. It's too much for Randleman. He's passing guard and gains side control. As I now looking for the crucifix of Josh Barnett. He can't get it hooked, as Randleman was struggling to fight it off. Randleman tries to transition to guard, but he can't manage it. Throws a few right hands as he takes a moment to plan ahead. Randleman tries to move to guard, but Barnett doesn't allow it. Hits a knee strike to the ribs of Barnett. Throws a few strikes, but they are thrown without venom. Randleman tries to pull guard on Barnett, but doesn't get anywhere with the attempt. Barnett holds Randleman in position with the side control and hits a knee to the side of the ribs. Big John McCarthy stands him back up. Lack of progress. Barnett can't hit a step left jab and then lands a low leg kick to the legs. As Barnett comes in looking for a takedown, he gets a 2 for 2 on takedowns. As now Randleman's on his back pulling guard. Fires off a few punches. Deflects a couple of punches from the bottom. Does Barnett. As Barnett unloads with some right hands, but Randleman deals with uncomfortably. Randleman tries to pull Barnett in close and pepper him with some short strikes, but he can't. He attempts to pass guard. He does. He passes to side control with ease. As stuck under side control, Randleman takes a knee to the ribs. Looking to get mount. He does so. Now he's got Kevin Randleman in mount. Looking for the armbar. He gets it. What a fucking win by Josh Barnett. Complete domination of Kevin Randleman as he gets the armbar win. What a win. Babyface assassin Josh Barnett gets the win and submits himself the #1 contender for Big Nog. What a fight that's going to be. Big Nog and the Babyface assassin Josh Barnett. It's rated good. Thank God it didn't go to the judges, but I don't think the judges could even fuck that one up. That was all Josh Barnett. Giving thanks, Josh Barnett praises his team at Team Quest. His various sponsors, his fans who came out to support him. Barnett says that he's really happy with the submission game and that he was very confident that he could tap out Kevin Randleman if he got the opportunity. He definitely did so. As a critical rating of a 66, our commercial rating was a 77. We must have not had a big draw, which that makes sense. Because I don't think they're anything above like mid-level or low-level national. Yeah. It would be 77, so that's a high level. Oh no, that's low-level internationals. That's fine. But the critical rating was at least a 66. We made $4 million at the gate. Looked like 13,790 as our broadcasting team with Joe Rogan adding to it. My God, wow, we decreased a lot of pop. Minus 3.6 in Japan. Man, talk about, Shalette getting the, in my opinion, the wrong decision win. You had Fabricio Verdum stealing one from Trey Tellingman. You had Raphael Kirino, I believe, definitely stealing one. Looking at the fight metrics. Well, I guess looking at the fight metric, it is, you can see it. He did land more strikes, but I don't know. It didn't seemed like Frank Mir did a good job, but it is what it is there. And then the Ricardo Arona, that one is injustice. Complete injustice done. Mauricio Shogun, who I should have won that one. We can look at the fight metrics of this as well. You could see the Trey Tellingman, he landed more strikes. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. Can't get them all right. The judges. Yeah, I've been waiting for the judges to really really fucking shit up. Yeah, it kind of happens in real life. Every now and again, there's a card where some judges kind of fuck it up. But usually it's just one fight, though. That's a whole ass card. But luckily that didn't happen at the tournament, at the fucking middleweight Grand Prix, or that would have been really tough, as we're going to renew all these guys, obviously. Mauricio Shogun Hua. And we got to get rid of Carlos Burrito. And call an episode here. Episode 22 in the books. Tough outing for some of these fellas. They got fucked over. But that's the way she goes sometimes. As we'll just clear all that. As we'll send Carlos Burrito down. There he is. He might do pretty well in rings. There's some guys, in the heavyweight in the heavyweight division. I like him and Couture be fun. We'll see. Thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you guys for Total Elimination 2003. The middleweight Grand Prix is underway. Look at this fucking card. Minoru Suzuki, Sakuraba, Vitor Belfort, Nate Marcotte, Masakatsu Funaki, and Chuck Liddell, Jeremy Horn, Anderson Silva, Masanori Suda, Pat Miletich, Ronaldo Sobral, Carlos Newton, that's pretty down on the card, as Rich Franklin, Evan Tanner, and Mazatsu Yano, and Quentin Rampage Jackson. And then at, final conflict will be the second, second round and kind of more into the quarterfinals and the semifinals. We might do the finals on Shockwave, though. I'm not sure. it's kind of like we'll play it by ear basis. Because the last Grand Prix that had the all the kind of fight cards in one night didn't really go so well. Well, we'll see it here though. Maybe it'll happen, type of thing. As yeah, we'll catch you guys next Monday. Take care, everyone.